Good morning, everybody. The Feast of the Transfiguration used to be a feast on a weekday, but this time the church transferred it on a Sunday, making it a solemnity. And that is because the church would like to emphasize something important about the transfiguration of Jesus. Jesus gets his apostles, chooses the three, more special ones, and brings them to Mount Tabor to pray. And while they were at prayer, Jesus was transfigured, meaning he changed his appearance. He made the apostles peep into his divinity. All the time they were just seeing Jesus like any human being. Pinapawisan, napapagod, natutulog, kumakain. But this time, Jesus made them see a little of his divinity in a form of, he was covered with dazzling light. Of course, Jesus disclosed his divinity to them in a way they will understand light. Okay. The trip to Mount Tabor was a stopover to his final trip to Jerusalem, where he will finally be murdered. He has been saying this to them, I will suffer, I will be killed, I will be buried, but on the last day I will rise. Naisip ni Jesus na before these horrible things will happen, may panghahawakan sila. They have something to hold on. So that when Jesus will be at his worst, they will remember the experience when he was transfigured. Transfiguration means across. That's why we have transit, transportation, transfigure, the shape, the look, change. Jesus, very human, now looked divine. Transfiguration is not possible for us human being. Maski ano pang makeup ang gamitin mo, maski anong oil pang nilalagay mo sa mukha mo, although I am kind of mystified how Mrs. Duavit looks so young. We will remain human. We cannot be transfigured from human to divine. We will remain human to human. We try very much to look divine, but it cannot happen. There's another trans thing that happens, which is a worldwide phenomenon. It's called transgender. And it is kind of scary. It's a moving across a change in the gender of the person. I know there are minors here. Anyway, I'd like to ask Kina, what do you understand by transgender?
When I think about transgender, it's like a man who turns into a girl.
Hindi naman girl, woman. Yeah. So, thank you. Yes, when a woman goes into what we call a dystopia, it's a new word, which means a kind of an angst. She gets kind of confused. They feel that their biological gender assigned to them when they were born is not what they feel they are. They change. Okay? So a woman that changes into a man is called a trans man. A man who changes into a woman is a trans woman. Right? You have a question, Margie? You have a question, Kina? No. Okay. I saw your hand. Sanay ako sa klase eh, no? And they do this by hormones, by puberty blockers, by operations. According to what they think, their gender is. This is a worldwide phenomenon. And just like to say, I'm not knowledgeable about this enough. I think I have to know more about it because more and more people are asking me. But I'm just thinking that God, for all eternity, with great wisdom and love, have decided the best gender for us. At any rate, many now are fighting back against transgenderism. A number have regretted jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. A number have become really, I don't know the word disillusioned, but more dystopic, more disturbed when they try to tamper with their bodies, because there might have been a change in their physical appearance, but there is no renewal of the mind. The mind is not synced to the body. What is instead transformation? No transformation has happened, and so it doesn't sync. And so they can be eternally is not the word, but very disposed to depression, very disposed to melancholy, to cynicism, and the like. There is no peace. Because they probably think that the transformation, the change that happens in their body automatically happens in the mind. It does not sync. What is transformation instead? Transformation is the thorough, dramatic change in a person's mind. St. Paul defines transformation as a renewal of the mind. A person becomes a new creation. The mindset, not just the appearance, not just the behavior, the mindset has changed. You know, there is a phenomena in psychology called puer eterna. It's Latin. It's an eternal girl. It's like a Peter Pan girl. A girl who has always been bratty, selfish, sent abroad to study, never finished, came home with 18 luggages, not a single pasalubong for anybody. And then she gets pregnant from an unknown man because she was drunk. And then a transformation happened. When the baby was born, from a very self-centered and selfish woman, when she finally became responsible for somebody else, she transformed. She got a job, something she never did. She never even held a broom all her life, and started to care for everybody around her. This is a psychological study that when women have babies, they get transformed. They kind of change in a thorough and dramatic way. But you and I realize that this psychological conclusion doesn't happen all the time. There are egocentric mothers. There are narcissistic parents all the same. A transformation did not really happen. How does transformation happen? You look into, I don't know, you look into Google, there are many, many, many answers there. What we read in the gospel is Christ and the apostles went to Mount Tabor to pray. Jesus was transfigured. The apostles were transformed. What transforms? I'd like you to watch this video. Patty, can we show this?
You can share.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I cannot find it. it disappeared. Here it is. Okay. I want to show you this video. I could have said it myself, but but um, but it's better if you watch the video. Power to change, power to restore, power to save lives, power to repair what has been broken, power to transform hearts and minds, power to bring freedom, power to bring peace, power to start learning. Power is in your hands. And that power is called the power of prayer. Jesus went to Mount Tabor to pray. And when he prayed, his divinity was revealed. The apostles went to Mount Tabor to pray, and what they experienced transformed them. Prayer of a God transfigures. Prayer of a man, of a woman, transforms. I wish there was another way. I wish there was I don't know, another thing to do. Prayer transforms us. You've got to go to prayer. Let me end with the practice the Jesuits have, which is called the examen of conscience. Many times we were taught that the examen of conscience is I look back into my life and see all the defects that I've done during the day and feel sorry about it. That has never transformed. Examen of conscience is I look back into the day and see and reflect in prayer where God was present. To be able to see God in all things, where God is present. So this thing happened. I heard this thing. This thing, I said this and this had this effect. Where is God here? Not looking for the absence of God, but the presence of God there. And that is prayer. It's so important kind of prayer that given the choice among the Jesuits, if they're very, very, very busy and they cannot pray the breviary, which is, required of us priests, given the choice, examen of conscience or breviary, they will choose the examen of conscience. Examen of conscience. So when things happen to us, question is not why did God do this? The question is, where is God present here? Because he is present all the time. Jesus brought the apostles to Mount Tabor so that when the scandal of the cross happens, they may not lose heart. And so they prayed. We have to pray so that when difficult moments come into our lives, we remember that our experience of the transfiguration of Jesus in our daily life, his manifestation in our daily life, and we will have the courage. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. I'm doing a series of modules every Wednesday from 4 to 6. It's entitled Forming Formation Formators. It's a series of interactive modules for religious formators, parents, teachers, anyone and everyone concerned with transformation. It has three parts with modules for each one. The first one is about sanity, it's purely psychological. The second part is about spirituality, it's psycho-spiritual. And the third one is about sanctity, it's directly about holiness. So this part about what I call sanity, we have wholeness is holiness, how how grace builds on nature. Holiness cannot be built on the debris of a broken personality. The personality has got to be fixed. Grace cannot function when a person is, humanly speaking, so dysfunctional. Then requisite for sanctity is sanity, how exactly that can happen, and growing in emotional maturity. And knowing how we grow in emotional maturity, we also need to learn what are those that emotionally trigger us. So it's from 4 to 6 p.m. via Zoom. We have the contact number there, and I'd like to encourage everyone to come into this. Thank you.